Am I live? Am I live? Oh, okay. So hi everyone, welcome to my live stream. Um, Welcome to my live stream. I hope you're going to enjoy this live stream. Anyway, this is like it's going to be raw. It's going to be difficult. Uh, it's going to be plenty of poor English. But anyway, so I don't want to waste. Nobody's here. Not a single. It's just me. Okay, so even though I can see I'm all by myself, I'll just see. Maybe the time zone is different. I don't know. I thought I was late. I thought I was late by 8 minutes. But maybe this is like an Israeli time zone, so I'm so sorry. Anyway, um, let's dive into the live stream. And thank you guys for watching.
Knows that some of the most haunted places on Earth are graveyards. With so many people buried in one place, the potential for spirits and ghosts to be nearby seems more likely. However, despite so many ghost sightings happening at cemeteries, there's not a lot of physical evidence of ghosts and haunting graveyards. Here is some of the creepiest video footage from graveyards that just might prove the existence of ghosts. Tesla detects people in an empty graveyard. If you're unfamiliar with Teslas, these vehicles come with a lot of extra high-tech features. One of these features is a pedestrian detector, where the car can detect pedestrians and stop for them. Edgar Osornia was driving his Tesla through a cemetery when his vehicle kept stopping for pedestrians. Osornia pulled out his phone to record the event. The video shows the Tesla screen detecting pedestrians walking around the car, but Osornia pans his camera over the outside of the car, showing nothing but an empty graveyard. The creepiest part of the
Hello,
video
coach.
is that the vehicle is not
Coach.
detecting just one person, but multiple
Hi,
people.
welcome.
Osornia comes to the
my
conclusion that his
streaming
car is
live.
detecting the spirits
Welcome
that
to my
haunt the
YouTube.
graveyard.
I don't know how
Ghost
to
girl crying in
control.
cemetery.
Wait, I don't know how to control the chat. I don't even see the chat. I'm using my phone to see the chat, so I'm really sorry if I don't see your.
In this video, a man takes a camera with him into a cemetery at night because he heard the sound of a young girl crying from the graveyard near his house. As he enters the cemetery, he's visibly scared, and he keeps telling himself that he's an idiot for putting himself in this situation.
No seas idiota. ¿Qué es esto, güey? No está nada lógico una niña llorando en un cementerio a las 12 de la noche.
The crying grows louder as he gets further into the cemetery. He spots the girl and points the camera at her. You can barely make out the shape of a small child kneeling down next to a gravestone. He calls out to her to ask if she's okay.
Amiga, ¿cómo te llamas?
The girl turns her head to look at him, and her eyes are
Sinister
glowing.
Pierre, thank
The
you for
man gets up
joining.
and sprints out of the cemetery in fear.
Amiga. Niña. Ay, no seas imbécil. Amiga. ¡Venga, güey! ¡Venga, güey! ¡Por favor!
Ghost walks out of grave during documentary. In the James May, Our Man in Italy documentary, viewers notice something strange during one of the scenes. As James May stands in the ruins of Pompeii, Italy, he explains that the entire city is essentially a mass grave site, as many people died during a volcanic eruption thousands of years ago. When he talks, a figure can be seen walking across the screen behind May. The figure is faint,
This
but
is
its
going to
shape
be
can clearly be
awkward.
made out as it walks around in the background.
Sorry.
It's an eerie coincidence that as May talks about an incident that killed thousands, a ghost is sighted. Ghost walks in front of man at an unmarked gravesite. A man and his friends came across an unmarked gravesite along the side of the road. They walked through the
Thank you. Me
site, filming
too.
and recording the graves that they came across. After going through the graveyard, the group returned to the car. Inside the car, a dash cam was recording them getting into the car. As the
That's
last guy was
scary.
walking to the
I
car, a
wouldn't.
shadow crossed the path. The
I wouldn't go to abandoned places. Never, 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 never. I'm so scared.
shadow had a human-like shape, but it crossed so fast that it's hard to see very clearly what the figure could have been. However, it's creepy to think that the men were walking through an unmarked grave just moments before the shadow was spotted. Skeletal figure caught on camera. While not technically a graveyard, the Hampton Court Place is known for its many unmarked graves on the property. People have no idea how many people died or were killed and had their bodies laid to rest on the palace property. There have been numerous ghost sightings.
By the way, this is from Unpopular Notes. I like his channel. He's so underrated. I don't know why he doesn't get like millions and millions of views. He should be getting millions of views. I like his channel.
Over the years, but finally, in 2003, a CCTV camera was able to pick up some evidence of the hauntings. For 3 days, security had been called to check on a set of double doors that kept opening in the palace. They had checked the security footage, and the doors seemingly opened on their own. However, one day, the security camera caught something else. In the video, the palace double doors swing wide open, and a figure in what appears to be a large cloak steps into the doorframe. The figure has a skeletal face, partially covered by the large hood of a cloak. The figure looks around outside the palace, then turns and heads back inside.
Let me see. I need to go
Ghost
to
spotted
your
in
YouTube
cemetery
channel.
during
So
live news stream. Sam Hessler was filming a television segment about a
maybe
haunted
go to
graveyard
the
tour when they
channel.
accidentally caught evidence of ghosts on camera. As Hessler
Right.
is talking and explaining the highlights of the tour, a
I
light
just
shadow
subscribed to
sprints
you.
across the cemetery behind her.
I've just subscribed to you, Sinister. I'll be watching your videos. Maybe I'll be reacting to your videos.
The shadow looks like a person, and its full body can be seen as it runs across the screen. Because it's a live news segment, it's hard to make any argument that the video could have been edited or changed. The shadowy figure went unnoticed by the crew at the time of the filming, but viewers alerted the station to the ghost after the story aired. This moment may have been the best form of advertising this haunted ghost tour could have possibly ever gotten.
Scared of cemeteries. I'm so scared.
Voices heard in Arlington Cemetery. A group of ghost hunters used their ghost detecting technology to pick up voices in the Arlington Cemetery.
Just days from Halloween, the night when we expect to see things to spook us.
However, in Arlington, there are some scary sounds that can be heard just about on any night or day for that matter.
They asked for the names of spirits and many other questions, getting a wide range of replies.
Sensitive digital recorders pick up a female voice. The ghost hunters think she's asking if we want to play.
One of the spirits tells them that it's haunted back there.
And that female voice appears to tell us what the ghost hunters already suspected. And again,
Ghostly figure caught on camera in graveyard. Professional ghost hunter Tony Smith was setting up cameras in a cemetery of a haunted manor when he felt a presence behind him. Tony was holding a camera and used it to survey the area behind him. He had another camera set up further away
Hi,
that
Riot.
caught the
How
whole
are you
scene.
doing?
In
Hi
the
from
footage from the
Israel.
second camera, a
Thank you
shadowy
for
figure can be
joining.
seen lurking behind Tony. Tony didn't catch it on the camera he was holding in his hands, despite having the feeling of someone behind him. He made sure to check back to that moment on the other camera the next day. His instincts were proven to be correct when he reviewed the footage. Ghosts found on USS Yorktown. The ocean is essentially one giant graveyard. Thousands of people have died at sea throughout the Earth's history, making ships a common place for ghost sightings. A group of ghost hunters spent the night on the USS Yorktown to search for paranormal activity.
We're gonna go around with the Yorktown ghost tour first and see his experiences and stuff, and then we're gonna go a little bit more into the depth of the ship, and we're gonna see if we can experience something supernatural.
The group claims that they were able to feel the presence of spirits as soon as they boarded the ship.
There was just a general feeling of like creepiness and unease.
I want to say thank you so much, guys, for joining me because I was not even expecting anyone to join. I am so thankful. Thank you, guys, so much from deep down my heart. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Uneasiness in a certain part.
They also used laser technology to detect movement, and they were able to detect lots of unseen movement aboard the ship.
Two of the photos were kind of interesting. I noticed in the second photo, you could see the back wall at the end of the hallway. The laser lights lit the back wall. The first photo, you couldn't. It was like there was a black mass over it. The laser lights are streaking, which means they're in motion. All the other laser lights are perfectly still, but the few of those laser lights in the black mass are moving.
Ghost Files at camera.
Man,
This video was taken by a man who was exploring an 800-year-old graveyard. While he was videoing one of the headstones, a sheer shape, almost like a white shadow, flies past the camera. It comes out of nowhere, seemingly materializing out of thin air. The shape of the white shadow looks very similar to the head and shoulders of a man. The man who filmed the video said he felt unwanted as soon as he stepped foot in the graveyard, and that he felt the spirit fly past him while he was filming. But he didn't see the ghost until he was reviewing the footage later.
So, as an African, one thing I do know is you don't go to a graveside at night. You do not go to a graveside at night. These white people are crazy. I wouldn't.
Ghosts caught on camera during the day at a cemetery. Tourists were filming their day trip to an ancient graveyard when they spotted something possibly sinister. While they're going through the graves, they spot a large shadow moving in the corner of the cemetery. The shadow is spotted like a large person in a cloak. They're able to capture it on camera before it disappears behind a wall.
I typo.
Before
Oh
we
my
play the
God.
last clip, you've watched this far. Why not consider subscribing to our channel? I post 2 new scary videos every week, so subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the newest releases.
Don't forget to subscribe to Unpopular Notes. I like his videos so much. And yeah, we have a problem right now in Israel. There is like these protesters everywhere. Scary.
Ghost of deceased child caught on camera. Fabiola Rodriguez was only 2 years old when she sadly passed away in September 2018. Her mother visited her grave often, leaving toys and other things at her daughter's final resting place. Fabiola's mother was growing increasingly frustrated as someone kept stealing the toys she had left at her daughter's grave, so she set up a camera to try and catch the culprit. To her surprise, the video footage revealed a young girl taking the toys. The young girl looked eerily similar to Fabiola Rodriguez, and the mother believes that it is the spirit of her deceased daughter just wanting to play with her toys.
Yeah, so like it's like I lined up everything that I wanted to share with you guys. So after this video, I have this video also from Unpopular Notes. So let's keep on watching.
Sinister trick-or-treaters. This video proves that not all trick-or-treaters have innocent intentions. In the video, a man and woman approach a home on Halloween wearing masks and holding trick-or-treat bags in their hands. They knock on the door and say, "Trick or treat." When the homeowner comes to the door, the man tries to force his way into the home. The woman runs down off the porch and opens the gates of the front yard to let another man in. The other man runs up to the porch and starts trying to push in through the front door too. Luckily, the homeowner was able to push them back and lock the front.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary here in Israel. And you know what? I am so scared of doing, I'm not like so scared, but doing music reaction video, even doing reaction videos with a tiny little bit of music in it, they give you a copyright claim. And these copyright claims are the worst, the bad news. I don't want anything to do with music.
One of the most
Really?
terrifying things about living in a home is the possibility of a break-in. Even if you aren't home for the invasion, the thought of someone pawing through your things is
I'm sorry,
incredibly
guys. I
unnerving.
did something. Damn it. Sorry.
Sinister trick-or-treaters. This video proves that not all trick-or-treaters have innocent intentions.
Thank
In the
you,
video,
Hope.
a man
Thank
and woman
you.
approach a home on Halloween wearing masks
Yeah,
and holding trick-or-treat bags in their
I
hands.
usually
They
smile a
knock on the
lot.
door and say, "Trick or treat." When the homeowner comes to the door, the man tries to force his way into the home. The woman runs down off the porch and opens the gate to the front yard to let another man in. The other man runs up to the porch and starts trying to push in through the front door too. Luckily, the homeowner was able to push them back and lock the front door before they could enter. The two men were able to run away and get out of the neighborhood before police could get to the house. Creepy clown caught on Ring camera on Halloween.
Thank you,
On
Ryan.
Halloween
Thank
night,
you.
a Ring camera caught some disturbing footage. In this video, a creepy clown stands on the lawn in front of a house. He slowly walks to the front door. As he gets closer, you can see that he's holding some balloons in his hand. When he gets close to the front door, he looks directly into the Ring camera and leans in close, showing just how intricate
Yeah.
his makeup is. It's even creepier because
really-
he doesn't say
You know-
anything to the camera. He just continues.
I tried 3 times and I failed to get myself monetized. 3 times. They don't want to monetize my videos. So I'm like, never mind. Never mind.
To stare. There is no indication as to why he's standing on the front porch or what his intentions are. Then, as mysteriously as he appeared, he disappears. Walking away from the porch and disappearing behind the side of the house.
Maybe it's the owner of the house trying to play spooky.
Halloween prank seriously scares woman. Halloween time is infamous for tricks and pranks. However, some of the pranks can seriously scare people. In this video, a man wants to scare his sleeping girlfriend. He hangs up a terrifying Halloween decoration of a ghastly ghoul on the ceiling fan above his girlfriend's bed. He turns on the fan so it seems as though it's flying above her.
Why
Then he
would you
tosses
do
a paper
that?
ball on top of his girlfriend, and his cat jumps on her to get the ball, waking her up. The girlfriend wakes up confused, but when she sees the ghost, her face fills with terror. She jumps to the side of the bed and screams loudly for a while. When she finally realizes it was a prank, she becomes upset because of how bad it terrified her.
Holy shit.
I would be upset
Did that
for the
scare
whole month.
you? Come here. Happy Halloween. Come here.
It definitely was not the nicest way to be woken up. UFO footage from Halloween night leaked by U.S. Navy. Is it possible that aliens enjoy celebrating Halloween too? On Halloween night, the U.S. Navy captured some interesting footage of a UFO over the ocean in San Diego.
On a pitch-black night off the coast of California, newly leaked video allegedly shows one of the U.S. Navy's stealth ships tracking an unknown object in the sky.
In the video, the UFO hovers back and forth as Navy trackers track it. Then it hovers down and goes under the water. The footage was obtained by a documentarian, and after it was leaked, the Pentagon confirmed that the footage was real and had been taken by a U.S. Navy destroyer.
There is more that could be shared, will be shared with Congress for certain. I don't see that coming to the public soon.
Mom steals Halloween candy bowl. It's quite common for people to leave out a bowl of candy for trick-or-treaters on Halloween. And it is common knowledge that if you come across one of these bowls, you should only take 1 or 2 pieces of candy so there's enough for future trick-or-treaters. In this video, 2 kids approach a house with their trick-or-treat bags held out.
Nice. I'm praying for you. We are on the same page. I'm praying for you. Don't give up.
They excitedly shout, "Trick or treat," as their mom comes up behind them. The mom notices that the homeowners have left out the bowl of candy, and she says, "Look, help yourselves," to her children.
Oh, here's the candy right here. Here's the candy.
She's taking all of it.
Help yourself. Oh, you gotta get the candy. It's right here.
All of it.
She then starts piling candy into her own bag as well as her children's. Her son seems to know this is wrong, and he tells her no, but the mother continues to take more candy.
Here, right here. Help yourself.
Finally, she picks up the bowl and pours out the entire contents into her bag. As they walk away, one of her children tells her, "Oh my gosh, Mom, you're acting like a robber."
Because she is.
We can use this. Here.
The video is sad because it seems that the children knew better than the mother to not steal the entire bowl of candy. Halloween poltergeist opens dresser drawers. This video provides shocking evidence that may prove that ghosts are real. In the video, a dresser sits alone in the middle of the room. It starts to shake slightly and a drawer opens by itself.
All the while, of course, the debate rages on inside Parliament. The MPs.
There's not a person standing remotely close to the dresser. The dresser continues to shake and make sounds, and another drawer opens.
He's continuing to debate with pretty high tempers, really, over this barrage.
The person taking the video slowly moves around the entire dresser, showing that there's no one behind it and no one else in the room. The video begs the question of if its ghost powers were amplified because it was Halloween.
They're saying to us that we've shown these pictures of the violent protesters
Yep.
and sort of concentrating
Yeah.
on that. She wanted to make the point.
They don't come. Yeah.
Men rob bar on Halloween.
And I
Almost
usually
everyone
also
wears a
watch,
mask on Halloween.
I watch Docam. I think there's a guy called Docam videos. But the only problem is they have music in everything. These videos have music in everything. I don't want any video with music in it. I'm tired of copyright issues.
Making it the perfect night for burglars to go undetected.
Surveillance video shows the suspects, some in Halloween masks and carrying guns.
The video, taken from a security camera, shows 5 men entering a bar in Brooklyn on Halloween night. The men were all wearing different scary Halloween masks and carrying guns. It's not seen in the video, but the men robbed the bar. They stole $700 in cash, 4 cell phones, and a necklace. Fortunately, none of the people involved in the incident were injured. Because they were wearing masks the entire robbery, police were unable to identify the perpetrators. Thieves steal Halloween decorations. Many people try to have fun around Halloween by decorating their homes with spooky decorations. But unfortunately, some people can ruin that fun. In this video, a man and woman approach the porch of a nicely decorated home. On the pillars of the porch are 2 big Halloween skeleton heads. The man and woman look around to see if anyone's watching, and then each of them take one of the heads and run away. It seems strange to steal Halloween decorations, as most of the time they're not very expensive.
Yep.
Haunted high school. This high school in Ireland started to experience some very strange supernatural activity around Halloween time. Both of the upcoming videos were taken from a security camera in the high school. The footage was taken from 2 different nights just the week before Halloween. In the first video, a large bang can be heard from down the hall. The sound is so loud that it shakes the camera. Then, a couple chairs down the hallway start violently shaking. It's quiet for a little bit, but then a bag flies off the top of a locker and falls to the floor. Then a poster flies off the wall and moves around on the floor. Finally, a chair moves across the floor by itself before everything calms down.
So I hear people usually say that these are like staged. They use strings and then they pull this up. Like they pull the strings to make it look like the chair is moving by its own. I don't know. It's just what the people say. But I would be scared.
In the second video, another loud bang comes down from the hall. Then a locker starts shaking back and forth violently.
And there is a wall. There's no opening I can see. It's a wall. That's spooky.
Then one of the locker doors opens and papers fly out all over the floor. Finally, a wet floor sign folds over by itself and flies across the floor. It's unclear why this supernatural activity is happening at the school, but the fact that the events happen so close to Halloween makes it seem that the holiday may be a factor. Masked robber robs laundromat. In this video, a man robs a laundromat with a weapon on Halloween. He's wearing a Michael Myers mask. Michael Myers is the notorious murderer from the Halloween movie franchise. The worker who was there at the time of the robbery said she was extremely traumatized from the event and won't ever be able to see those movies the same ever again.
Still scary, no? Yeah, it's okay, but still scary.
Vandals destroy Halloween decorations across town. These videos show that some people show no respect for the effort people try to put in to make Halloween more festive. The videos were taken from multiple homes in one town. In the videos, it appears to be the same people going around destroying and stealing people's Halloween decorations. In the videos, they kick down and stomp on decorations and steal the ones they want. The police tried to track them down, but most of the videos could not provide enough details to identify the vandals. Real ghost caught on camera on Halloween. On Halloween, while a restaurant owner was closing up, he experienced some supernatural activity. Luckily, the restaurant's security camera caught the incident. In the video, the owner appears to be throwing out some garbage. He picks up a garbage bag sitting next to two kegs. When one of the kegs moves slightly, the owner notices it but shrugs it off. After throwing the bag away and turning back to the kegs, the one keg moves across the floor over to him, and the owner backs away in fear. He was the only person in the video, and no one was standing next to the kegs.
Maybe the floor
Man
is
smashes
slippery.
pumpkin decorations. Carved pumpkins are popular Halloween decorations, but this video proves that not everyone's a fan of them. In the video, a man walks up to a house, picks up their carved pumpkin and smashes it on the ground. Then he picks up the other pumpkin and smashes it on the ground too.
Why?
It's not clear why he did it, but luckily the camera got a good view of his face so the police were able to identify him. Inappropriate Halloween decorations. Neighbors were disturbed at one of their fellow neighbors' choice of Halloween decorations, and rightly so. In 2003, a 17-year-old boy killed his mother and two sisters in the home. Flash forward almost 20 years later, and the home has new residents living inside. The homeowner currently living there decorated the house with bloody handprints on the windows, as well as 3 fake headstones in the front yard. It's not clear if the homeowner knew what they were doing and if the decorations were intentional. Obviously, this bothered neighbors as they can see.
That is so intentional. Probably they knew the history of the house and they decided to. That's so intentional.
Considered it to be extremely disrespectful, considering
Very
what had happened there years before. Footage of ghosts captured on Halloween. In this video taken on Halloween from a security camera, an orb of light floats quickly up and down a stairwell in an apartment complex. It resembles the light of a flashlight, but no one is
Camera
around
glitch,
or in
maybe?
the stairwell. It's unclear what it is, but lots of people really believe it's a ghost that was floating around on the night of the spookiest holiday. Woman attacked in haunted house. A popular activity for people to do around Halloween time is go to haunted houses. Most of the time, haunted houses are really fun, and people enjoy the experience of being scared. However, one woman's experience turned out to be scarier than she had originally anticipated. She was interviewed by the local news to detail her experience. In the interview, the woman says that a clown in the haunted house started following her closely and touching her hair.
There was a clown dressed in all black in the parking lot
It's true, show your face. Show your face. Why are you hiding?
who kind of followed us up to the house.
She said he then pulled her away from her group and took her down to a different room.
He had a bat in his hand and he basically backed me into a corner. There was no way around him.
He said he wouldn't be letting her go, and when she tried to get back with her group, he grabbed her hair and slammed her head into a table.
Smashed my head down into the table, and I'm shaking. I'm almost in tears.
He then told her to get into one of the decorative cages because he wasn't done with her yet.
He did say, get in that cage, go in there. You're not leaving just quite yet.
Luckily, she was able to get past him and back with her group. But when her group exited the haunted house, the clown followed them into the parking lot. He told her that she was lucky he didn't grab her and
Yes, I heard about it. It's all over Twitter. Yeah. That is weird. I don't know. I thought maybe it's speculation. I don't know.
drag her back
I don't know if
inside by
it's
her
true.
cute cowboy
Do you
boots.
think
You're
it's
lucky
true?
I didn't drag you off by your cute little cowgirl boots.
She finally threatened to take a picture of him, and that made him turn around and leave her alone.
Right when I said that, he turned around and walked off.
She said that her haunted house experience turned into a real nightmare. Before we play the last clip, you've watched this far. Why not consider subscribing to our channel? I post 2 new scary videos every week, so subscribe to make sure you stay up to date with the new releases.
Yep, subscribe to Unpopular Notes.
Man's Halloween costume catches on fire.
And me too.
In this video, a man attending a Halloween party accidentally got his costume caught on fire. In the video, the man is running around trying to put out the flames. He finally falls on the ground and
This video, I think this video was during the BLM riots. I think so. I think they were rioting and they were trying to light up something, and his whatever caught fire. I think this video is
starts
from
rolling
BLM
around.
rioting.
While other partygoers try to put out the flames, eventually they were able to put out the fire, but the man had to be taken to the hospital for severe injuries.
Not a party. It wasn't a party. That video is not from the party. That video is from rioting, I think in 2020. I think so. I remember that video. So this is my last video. I tried to see if people will be watching with me, and I'm so glad
Hospitals
that
can be terrifying,
Coach
even for
or
the
Coach-
living. That being said, when
I don't
something
know how to
actually out of this
pronounce it.
world happens in one, we can only watch
How
it.
do you pronounce it? Coach? Thank you, Sinistine Coach, for being here with me. So that means maybe next time I can do live stream and I'll be having people to keep me busy. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful for you guys. Thank you so much for being here
Horror
with
and
me.
wonder if there's more to it than that. Today we have some of the creepiest, most horrifying things caught on camera in hospitals. Some of these are abandoned and left to rot, while others have supernatural happenings amidst regular business. From poltergeists we can't see to horrifying actions of humans that we can. It's crazy what goes on in this high emotion, high stress environment. You won't want to miss the clips we put together today, so make sure you stick around to see what I mean. Exam room poltergeists. As the final resting place of many, hospitals are undoubtedly filled with negative memories and associations. But what if there are ghosts too?
Children
This
of
lab
the
technician
Corn,
was
like
privy
the
to one
movie.
such instance where a vial seemed to leap off the table
Okay.
onto the ground with no
That's like
outside
initials.
force.
Okay,
It was
I
like
get it.
someone was sitting there, batting it off the side of the table. The person he came in with didn't seem to believe him, but it happens again right at the end
I like that movie, Children of the Corn. I like that movie. Scary, spooky.
of the video. We can clearly see another can is caught inching towards the edge of the table. Instead of getting freaked out, he forcefully puts it back in place. One mess is quite enough. Abandoned hospital with needle dump. Nothing is more terrifying than searching through abandoned locations. No one knows this better than urban explorers, YouTuber Dan Bell. He spends most of his time exploring on his channel. This video in particular shows an apocalyptic-looking abandoned hospital. From the outside, it looks perfectly normal. Old, abandoned, but not that bad. Once he makes his way
That
inside,
cross
you see the
is
rot
spooky.
and mess
I
left
wouldn't even
behind.
go
He walks
inside.
in cautiously with his exploration partner, finding a dump of used needles on the ground, scattered, discarded, and dangerous. Deeper in the hospital, there's so
Maybe the homeless people that do drugs. Maybe.
much more to discover in near pitch black darkness. Abandoned wheelchairs, gurneys, mold all over the ground. This looks like the abandoned set of a zombie or monster flick, the sort of place you don't want to see your main character go in because nothing good can come from it.
Probably homeless people lived there.
Nothing too bad happens other than some altogether disturbing footage, but they've explored every corner of the old hospital and everything left behind by sundown. It almost looks like some of it must have been in use, like they suddenly had to vacate for some reason. It's probably better that we don't know for sure.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Wheelchair controlled by a ghost. This old CCTV clip caught something you won't believe. There's no one in the hallway, no one messing with items, and suddenly the wheelchair begins to inch off screen, directed off camera.
You know, people die in the hospital, right? I think it's probably the most haunted place in the planet. Hospitals and cemeteries. I wouldn't go to those places, no. Mm-mm.
The clip looks to be at least a few years old based on quality alone, but the slow movement of the wheelchair is unsettling to watch. Whatever ghostly specter was there, pulling it back doesn't show on camera, but probably for the best. I can only imagine how the person reviewing the CCTV might have felt. Maybe there's something off camera that caused it, but I certainly wouldn't have wanted to stick around and find out. Some things are better left mysterious. Final moments as spirit leaves body. This clip is more than a little unsettling to watch, and certainly easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking at. We can gather from this the man on the stretcher.
Why did they film this? Do they film people when they die? Why in the first place? Why in the first place? Why did they do this in the first place? That is just wrong. That is wrong. Oh my goodness.
Is lying still with medical staff around him, clearly in the middle of a fight for his life. What the clip catches, however, is insane. It certainly looks as though a few moments pass and his soul seems to leave his body. The otherworldly form sits up for just a moment as the heart rate seems to flatten. Suddenly, people come back in and they do chest compressions to try and bring the man back from the point of death. This continues for several minutes. It seems like they caught something from another plane of existence in these final moments, all on a shoddy hospital CCTV of all things. Spirit leaves body and escapes. If you thought the clip before was something, you'd love to see this. This clip catches yet another body being evacuated by its soul. There's a figure lying on a bed and suddenly their form sits up, but it looks as though it simply floats back and out of view. No one is around to try and resuscitate the person. The camera caught those final few moments before the spirit seemed to go into the great beyond.
That is scary. That is so scary.
Terrifying psychiatric patient. There's plenty of old, creepy Soviet.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I shouldn't be laughing. Like that's the reality today. Like when something is happening, something horrible just happened. Somebody just had an accident. Anything. People just grab their phones and start filming. Like, what the F is wrong with people?
Era footage out there. This clip might very well take the cake. Looking like something ripped out of the famous Russian sleep experiment, a man is seen emaciated sitting on a bed. It cuts several times, showing as he frantically jumps around the room, cutting to different clips of him shaking things, rocking back and forth, and more. The video cuts several times as if the feed was corrupted over time due to something we can't explain.
That's not an hospital. Looks like a prison.
There's a sudden jump to his face, a close-up on the camera, and it doesn't look very human. The clip goes white for a moment, and we see what looks like a man floating in midair as if suspended by some force. Then the clip finally
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to say that. But what? How?
cuts. Haunted Honduran Hospital. This mostly empty-looking hospital in Honduras at first seems innocuous, a little creepy but nothing crazy. As it goes though, there seems to be a figure coming out of a doorway. The figure walks through the hall and it's clear that it's unnatural as you can see through the figure. This clip is believed to show a long-past doctor who's simply going about their regular rounds. But it's hard to see what he's doing, and whether or not it's just a creepy story or true is unclear. It lurches out of the door into the hall, and it's translucent like a ghost.
I remember when my daughter got sick and she was hospitalized, and I had to stay there overnight with her. And then one time when I was going to, the coffee shop, and then they just rolled down somebody who just died. Do you know how I freaked out? I was so scared. I was so scared seeing somebody just died and just passed me. I hate hospitals. I hate hospitals.
The person filming backs through the doorway and loses view of the ghost. Woman steals baby from NICU. A little different from other clips we've shown, but still disturbing nonetheless. We see a woman walking into the hospital casually about midway, nothing in her hands. The video cuts to another vantage point, presumably a little while later, and the woman is back, now with a newborn baby, making her way back and out of the building. However, as it turns out, this is not the woman's baby, as she just walked into the hospital and stole this newborn out of the newborn unit.
Where was the mother? That's why, they have to. Why do they always separate the kids from their moms? I don't get it. The infants, I mean, the babies. Why do they usually separate the babies from their moms? I don't like it.
As it turns out, this was part of a growing trend that has been happening, and yet they didn't catch this woman's not very sneaky escape until it was presumably too late. Haunted hospital bed spooks orderly. There's very little explanation for what we're seeing, as it opens up immediately on an erratically behaving gurney moving back and forth seemingly without warning. It goes back and forth a few times before flipping over. The following clip
What? That's so funny. I'm sorry for
shows yet
stopping.
another angle as the different hospital bed begins to act the same way. As soon as one of the staff members approaches it, it pulls itself away, trying to make sure he can't grab it. The man does exactly what most people would do in this situation. He turns around and goes back to where he came from. That was probably the best thing he could have done. Abandoned hospital with a fallout shelter. Abandoned buildings are creepy, no matter where they are. This building had been shuttered since the 90s and it felt every bit of its age. This YouTube channel, The Proper People, follows two men as they walk through abandoned sites. Exploring this abandoned psych hospital was enough to send shivers down just about anyone's back.
You can check out this floor, but I think it's already destroyed.
Oh, you have to be out of your mind to
It's
go
only
to a
been
psych
2
hospital.
decades since this closed down,
This
yet
is
it
for
looks like
crazy
it's
people.
been there through some nuclear bomb fallout. Eventually, they move deep enough in and find a fallout shelter, which is meant to protect them in the event of a nuclear disaster. But it's certainly too small for a whole hospital, with just a few places to stay.
This is a fallout shelter in here. Not a very big one, though.
This is not the sort of place I'd stay in the event of a nuclear apocalypse, but I don't think you get to choose where you end up. They go deep into the building and you can only imagine the smell of mildew and rot, as every door is rusted and the walls are peeling. Some of the left-behind equipment looks like it has been left behind mid-procedure, giving it a uniquely terrifying abandoned feeling of potentially being suddenly abandoned.
And why don't they wear like gloves when they go to these abandoned houses? It's full of like bacteria and all this. I don't know. You have to wear gloves when you go to these places. Wear normal shoes, like cover yourself. Oh my goodness. You saw that he had no gloves.
Abandoned. There are pieces of roof and ceiling that are completely gone as the light floods in, showing just how dark the inside of the hospital must have been that there had been no sign of daylight just minutes before. Student film catches otherworldly presence. Imagine going around during an assignment, as usual, and encountering something terrifying in the meantime. We start right at the end of the video with some stock and background clips of a student film before finally it lands on an extended clip of a corridor. Then suddenly, out of a side door, a ghost walks out and continues across. It doesn't seem to notice them, just as they didn't see it. And only when the person filming went to edit it later did they discover the strange finding. Tagged in abandoned hospital. As we've covered, abandoned hospitals have a very particular layer of terror. YouTube channel Exploring with Josh walked into this abandoned California hospital, which has long been since left to the elements and people tagging and vandalizing. Not only are there abandoned pieces of medical equipment, missing ceiling tiles, trash, and ore, but graffiti all over the walls, which makes it a little different than the ones we've covered. The consistent thing about these hospitals is how much was simply abandoned, like old x-ray machines, an old children's wing, a morgue with knives and examination documents. It's a terrifying snapshot of those last days in an old hospital, frozen and kept with time.
It's over. It's over. You want me to continue or stop? Because I only had 2 videos. I only had 3 videos lined up and we are done. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Sinister. Thank you, Coach. Coach. Thank you guys so much. I think maybe I'll do next Saturday a live stream. If if you promise you'll be here with me, because I loved it. Even though we are only 3 people, I loved it. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. We'll do this again next week, right? Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week. I hope you're subscribed to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Unpopular Notes. I love his videos. He's the best. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.